off it goes. Hello, chat. Let's just turn that down just a tad. Now it's not getting picked up at all, is it? Hopefully that's not too loud. I'm sure people will tell me if it's too loud at some point. Hope everything's going okay with you, chat. We're going to be painting some more miniatures. Hi, Neff. Hope music's not too bad for you. That is... repeats a lot. Let's find something else. Oh yeah, I got a lot of figurines. This isn't even all of them. This isn't even like a fourth of them. Hey, Drake the Duelist. Good to see you. It's been a little bit. No, this one's called Into Space. Let's see what this one says. Ah, it's this one. Night driving? Can't hear the music. Alright. Let's see here. Let's try this one. There, that's probably better. A Van Crow today. The stylings of Van Crow. I'll be keeping my ear, if that's okay with you, chat. Alright, it's not too loud, is it? What's this one? Be honest, I kind of dig it. This is great miniature. This is what it feels like to paint minis, right? So we got a bunch of these little minis here. Got a squig. There's a grot. These are all the guys I painted right here. So all these guys I've been painting. These guys here with the lighter colors. They were mostly painted by Codex. I painted the pants. I painted them brown. Try to bring this in closer for you guys. Yeah, it kind of does sound like old Sonic music. So this one was mostly Codex. If it can zoom in properly. There we go. Hey, look at him. I did the pants, which is a brown. I'm not sure how well that's showing up though. Kind of like how he looks though. These guys here were started painted on by Pixie, and she picked this acrylic that's really thick, but it's really vibrant. I kind of like how green these guys are. So I'm going to see if I can try to get some more greenery on these boys. Try to make them pop a little bit more. So I've been looking through my colors here. If I don't knock it over, that'd be great. That's Desolate Brown. That's brown. I know. Pull this out a little bit. That'll help me. I'm gonna look for a brighter green in my collection. Got the Shamrock green. It looks like it's supposed to be really bright, so that might be a good one to start with. And the shaking paint ASMR. That's what you're all here for. That's what you all came to see, ain't it? I'll hit my camera 1,000 times before the night's done, I guarantee it. I'm gonna put these guys off to the side for now. Mixing those paints with my own paints, if that helps any, sweetheart. It does help a little bit. I'm trying to figure out what I did last time to have the camera such a good spot. He's not wanting to stay in this. That seems like a pretty good spot to paint. Doesn't reveal face or anything. Doesn't show too much hands. See what we get with this here. Just makes put out 4 drops. Take a brush. Wet it. We'll start with this guy. Just a little bit. Do a magic trick? No magic today. I'll be getting back into doing some performative magic for the chat eventually. Hello, Kenneth Bird. Good to see you, the resident lurker. Hope you're doing well. Honestly, I think these boys might be green enough, so this will probably be the last coat of green paint they get. Try to get up here underneath him. Get his fingers there. It is a nice green. I do like this green. Get up under him here. And let me know if you want the music changed up any chat. We'll see what I can do. I think that guy's good. These commandos don't have a lot of revealed green. Not a lot of skin showing. So pretty much just the arms, some of the areas around the neck and head, and the hands. Like this guy's got a big old coat. Up in his hand there. How you doing, by the way, Space Junk? It seems to be like a little bit since you've been here last. What about you, Drake? It's been a little bit too. I hope you're doing well. I hope your writing's been going good. That's good for him. Get this guy going. Geez, my writing, I have a lot to catch up on. Hey, you know what? That's cool. It happens, man. Life can be like that, you know. Hope everything's going okay for you, dude. It's cool to see you. Missed ya. In there. What else have you been up to then? And what about the rest of you, chat? What have you been up to this week? Like today, I went to work at the post office today, so that was fun. And then I got, you know, my normal 5-day work week ahead of me. All in all, I'll be a little bit busy. Today's the birthday of a friend of mine. Unfortunately, work kept me from being able to go see his party. Just meeting up to eat some pizza though, so which is all cool. Went to work, quit the job just in time for the economy to suck. Played a little indie card game momentarily. Now looking for work again. Sounds like the life. I too was removed from my job right in time for the economy to take a nosedive. You probably weren't around when I left the job, but for like the last 2 months or so, I have been in between jobs, kind of, sort of. So the old vending job I used to work, I no longer work that. I left that job, and now I went into looking for new work. I think this guy's got fingerless gloves. Oh well. For a while there, I was working at a car wash. And that was the most boring job I have ever had. Is the easiest job I also ever had. For about $14 an hour, I got to work full-time shifts with no set schedules. And luckily all the employees I worked with, all of my fellow co-workers and stuff, yeah, this guy's got fingerless gloves, because here's a glove gap right here. And he's got another one right here, which he'll be fine. But everybody I worked with was pretty cool, pretty chill. We had a couple of issues. Like when I started working there, half the vacuums in the vacuum lot didn't work. Because the building itself was struck by lightning at one point. And it fried a circuit breaker which broke. Yeah, I'll get into that in a moment, sweetheart. Where was I? What was I talking about? Just want to paint his nose. Like his nose is the only thing sticking out of his mask. That'd be funny. So I went into doing that, and that job was so easy that we had high school students that working it, begging to be the ones to clean out trash and stuff like that, to go out and sweep the parking lot and all that sort of stuff. And you know your job easy if that's happening. A lot of just standing around, not doing a whole lot for 8 hours a day. And they had some micromanaging, so we couldn't be on like our phones, no anything. Nothing. Nada. No fun. No fun allowed. As well as the the manager of that particular car wash. Now, I think that's called. He was the store man. He wasn't the store manager. He was the. He wasn't regional anywhere either. I forget what the title is, but he was over like a couple of them in that area. He was kind of strange. And lo and behold, we come to find out he has a TED Talk about anti-bullying and everything, where he mostly just talks about himself. So we'll probably go over that at some point, because I don't work there anymore, so I don't care. And I'm not putting it on my resume, because I was there for 2 months. One day, he comes out. He comes out of the car wash, and I'm standing in the front area trying to sell our speed passes to people who are coming to get their car wash. You know, a monthly membership thing. And he points to the window, and there's a purse sitting on the inside of the window, and he goes, "Is that yours?" Obviously, the purse is not mine. And before I can go, it's probably Miss Dara's, the only other girl working there right now. He goes back inside and starts rifling through it. He opens it up and starts digging through it. And I just watch him the whole time. Of course, he's looking for a driver's license. But it's still a really weird thing to do. To just open up somebody else's purse like that. It wasn't a missing purse. It wasn't a found purse. He didn't even ask her. And she's sitting. She is in the tunnel, which is connected to a glass door, which is directly across from where he's doing this. So she would have been able to see him at any point, and he could have gone over and asked her at any point. Just a really weird thing to do. But anyway, after I was working there for a couple weeks, he got removed, quote unquote. So he wasn't working there, and they replaced him with a younger guy who was kind of cooler. He wasn't like no party all the time, no work ever sort of type, but he actually, you know, wasn't breathing down our necks about everything. So he was pretty cool. I liked him. Used to work in the Navy in Arizona. He wouldn't say what part of the Navy. And it was really weird that he was working in Arizona. But that's all he would tell us. So I think he was probably working in intelligence, probably in just something like shipping. And it could have just been like shipping like metal sheets or something meant for ships. It's very strange. So, but I no longer work at that place because now I work at this valet at the hospital, which pays a lot better. And I also work at the post office now as a part-time job. So I'm making plenty of money now. I still got some debts I need to pay off, which I'm getting around to it. And comics are going to be coming out very soon. We got the Green-Eyed Cat coming out, which it's now been out for about a week. It's not doing great, but it's also my first comic, so I didn't expect it to do anything at all. And hey, you know what? The longer we're around, the more things will sell eventually. And you know what? Your first book's never great. We'll work on building the audience as we go. It'll be fine. Get up in this one little tight little area. Get behind that arm. He doesn't have any exposed skin around the mouth or anything. Do this guy next. See if we can cover up some of that red that's on there from his hat, because I gave him a red hat. That was just about enough paint for these guys. I think these guys are turning out pretty good. Last guy, he's the commander. I gave him this splotch of red on the face like he's got some battle scar. So let's get up here. He's got these dog tags around his wrist, which is kind of cool. Commandos are really cool. These cheeky little blood axe blokes. You won't come to be lieutenants. Some of you've got to be a major. Let me guess, you all want to be lieutenants because it's got the word loot in it, don't it? We'll cover up a bit of that red so that way it kind of like blends in a little bit with the skin. Give him some battle scar. He's got this pot belly here too. I think these are really cool. These guys are turning out pretty cool. So what about you, Chad? What have you been up to? What sort of arts and crafts are you doing right now? Alright. I think these guys are just about done. We can start moving into details. Alright, let's see here. I think I am going to stop trying to change the brown. Their coats are significantly brown enough. Let's see here. That's Holy White. Graveyard Gray. Zealot Yellow. Warrior Skin. Multiplying Gold. There's some bright red. Alright, that's gloss. Dark wood. Cosmic Bold. Speed Paint Medium. Anti-shine matte varnish. We don't want to use that. Trying to see what my color options are here because I want to start getting to these straps. Let's see here. So it might be best to kind of do maybe black with the straps. I'm thinking maybe a black. Maybe some gray. Do we have like any gunmetal grays or anything? We got pale bone. That would help get some of like some bright colors in there. Hoplite gold. That might help. I think we'll start with that. Start with that selection there. Give you a bit of a wash. Want to make sure you properly clean out your brushes because dry paint will ruin a brush. What clan are you going for? Or I think they're called cool chans now. I don't like cool chans. I don't know what that word means. Clan sounds better. These guys are commandos, so I'm thinking I'm going to be making these guys blood axes. Because I got a ton of miniatures over here off camera. That's got a whole bunch of things like Gazghouls in this set. We got some like Killicans, some helicopters. Like we got a bunch of grots and everything. So we got like a large mixture of the clans. So we got Blood Axes, we'll have Bad Moons, we'll have some Goths. Because these guys are Blood Axes though, so they're going to need some red. Because that's their color. Probably some pink to help brighten it up a bit. That's Slaughter Red. This red's called Murder Scene. That's a primer. Ooh, silver. We're going to want that. Broadsword silver. That'll be for metal. So I think we'll do that. Let's see here. What part of these should I start with? Probably should start with like backpacks. So I'm thinking I'm going to start with like their little sacks here. So like, see this guy? He's got a stick of bomb. He's got these little cups here. He's got his backpack with a knapsack on top. You know, because that's what orcs need to do. Fight, eat, sleep. That's it. This is what a life. I know. They got these little bullets here, so they're going to need some little bits of gold. There's a lot of little details. So let's start with the actual sack itself first. So what I'm thinking of doing is kind of put these this pale bone color into it. Palette bone. Use that. That will help lighten up the color. Pink Shake ASMR. Probably just like a couple. The problem with these orcs is that the primer they have on them is black. And that's making them a little dark. 4, eat, sleep. Then 3, 5. 1, 4. 2, you eat. 3, you sleep. Then 1. You do it again. So we'll cover up the knapsack. Probably gonna put about 2 or 3 coats on over this to help brighten it up a bit. Any little straps we have on him, he's probably going to get a dark cover. I'm going to have to get a fine detail brush out at some point, which I got one. And we'll start setting guys who are done. Over here. Ever seen the video of in-character 48 orcs discussing human philosophies? I have not. Man, this guy's already got it pretty good. I think a lot of like these dudes here I'm probably not going to do a whole lot more painting on. I'll probably put some like silver tips on their boots. But ultimately, Codex already did a pretty good job on those guys. So I'm just going to leave them as is. We'll do this guy next. This guy's got some dynamite, it looks like, on his back there. That's fun. He's got a brutal, cunningly plan. He's thinking cunningly. He's got that cunning thinking. No, he's a sneaky git. A sneaky blood axe git. I'm not able to do a good orc voice. I'm so sorry, chat. He's got his big old zipper here. Commandos be using they think bits. Don't like them sneaky blood axes. They take too long to get to the fighting. They gotta make everything all complicated like. Ain't nothing special about it. You run at the Umi, you shout war, and then you hit him with your chopper or shoot him with your shooter. But no, commandos and blood axes, they gotta put on camouflage and wait around and walk around behind the Umis before they shout war and then hit them with their choppers or stab them with their stabbers. It's just too much extra steps. Ain't nothing cunning about it at all. Now, granted, sometimes it's nice to see the look of sudden surprise on the Umi's faces when you popped out all of nowhere's like. It is rather funny. But, you know, in Wark and Mork wanted orcs to be stealthy, they Wark and Mork would have made orcs purple. I got a little into character there, chat. Man, so many little details on these guys. And I'm sitting here wondering how like people get some of that intricate things going. Like if somebody has like the patience to actually paint a face on some of these minis, they clearly don't have any sort of ADHD. Because here I am just slapping paint on. And we go back around to the first guy again. We're going to put on maybe a second or a third coat. I once had a handgun that needed repair, so I took it back to the store for maintenance and went, me shoot it done zogged itself. They told me I didn't believe in it enough. Nah, well, you know, it's Parappa the Rapture. You gotta believe. Or they have OCD. That's also very true, Neff. I can easily see painting being something for somebody to help satisfy their OCD a bit. But you know what? That's why you start with orcs. Because the paint job can look shit. And it's still very orky. I'm gonna have to add a couple paint. I'm definitely going to need to get a hold of a color tray, because I'm just using a paper plate right now. You know, feel a little bit like a kid, but it's part of the fun, you know. You know, there's a new philosophy I'm trying to put myself through, and that is making mistakes is fun. You know, it's fun to get into something new, and just make mistakes while doing it. Because then you get to learn from that mistakes. That means you get to experience something new. That's part of the fun of all this, right? Is becoming better at it, right? What fun is anything if you're instantly good at it, right? Like, if you're instantly good at everything you do, you never get to experience anything. You'll never have any stories to tell. You'll never have, like, a moment to laugh at something that you used to do something. There are professionals who use paper plate issues, yeah. Ain't no mistake, just happy orksidents. Happy orksidents. I love it. Orc Bob Ross. Oh my gosh. You beat the devil out of it, and you just take a Umi by the leg and you just go boop, 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 boop. I love it. That image is in my head now. Thank you for that. Thank you for that one, Drake. It's great. I love it. I'm going to need to get some more paint. Yep, time for more paint. Get that top. I need to get a better camera for this because it keeps unfocusing. Camera's great for VTubing because it doesn't need to worry about focus all that much. I'm sure it probably would help a lot with tracking if it didn't have to like autofocus every couple of seconds. I have to wonder, these orcs have knapsacks, so what color is sleeping? Because colors mean a whole lot of important stuff to orcs. If you paint your knapsack red, does that mean you fall asleep faster? this guy's backpack isn't even exposed. Got some up here. There we go. Grots sleep in purple so the Orksies can't see them napping on the job. I love that. Imagine this, chat. You got a Grot. And he's just looking for a place to sleep. And he's got his purple knapsack so that way he can sleep without being disturbed. But he's a really heavy sleeper. So he doesn't hear the orc stomping around about to come up on him. And then suddenly the orc just steps down on his head and it squishes and he crushes the poor Grot.
Ahoy carnival goers. Do you like comics? Of course you do, and Dr. Crow has your comic needs. First, enjoy the comedic adventures of Smoke and Mirrors. This lovely couple have opened the doors of their magic shop to you. Smoke, the sly and clever business cat, and his wife Mirrors, the pun-loving bunny, along with all of their friends, never have a dull moment as they deal with the pressures of running a business and performing for a crowd. And if you're looking for something more action-packed, we have All-American Red Squirrel. Riley O'Ryan has returned home to the city of Mapleville, to take up the role of city defender, and prove her late father's innocence. Standing in her way are street-smart thugs, dastardly supervillains, and an untrusting public. The All-American Red Squirrel has her work cut out for her. All of Dr. Crow's comics can be downloaded and read online at Global Comics.
Thank you for the readout, Lori. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, so we got this Grot. Very heavy sleeping Grot. Let's say it's a Gedaka here. He's napping on the job so that way he doesn't get caught and he's sleeping in purple. And an orc comes stomping by and just squishes him because he doesn't see him. And the orc's like, oh, what's that? I think there's a Grot sleeping on the job. I'll teach him. If there was anything left to teach. Alright, let's see if there's anything else that can be kind of like a light brown. Because I think that helped out a little bit. Kind of like helped the backpack stand out a bit. I think it's a bit more seeable now. But I'm not going to get it any brighter, I don't think. We'll do one more round of like the light paint color. Yeah, we'll just do one more coat. And then we'll move on to the next color. This time we'll try to avoid details. Oh, Drake, you probably weren't here and probably wondering what the hell that was, wasn't it? Aren't you? So that's Lori. That's my little digital assistant. She handles little readouts and everything to help promote my stuff. And she's not an AI. Was trying for a while there, but I couldn't wrap my head around the coding. My brain don't work that way. I'm sure I could probably get it, but I just didn't want to spend any more time and energy on it than I had. I think she's been an ultimately popular addition to the channel. I think people really like her. At least nobody's made mention that they hate her and want her to go away. I worked with AI at my last job. AI brain don't work that way either. It's so weird how fast an AI has kind of just taken over everything. And at the same time, it seems like it hasn't taken over anything at all. Neff likes a little murder burb. Well, thank you, Neff. I like you too. I mean, I'm sure Lori appreciates it. Because you're probably talking about her, not my murders. I'm an attempt at murder. These guys, yeah, they're getting set off camera. Well, it's fine. All they're doing is drying. Now, after I get this mini painted, these guys painted, I'm going to have to learn how to play the game, I suppose. Because otherwise, they're all just going to go into a box somewhere. Are these guys the right size to use in D&D? Like, could I actually have these just be orcs on a tabletop? I think they are. I definitely will be painting more miniatures. I freaking love this. Like, I've been trying to get into, like, digital arting and stuff for years. And, like, painting and, well, drawing. And I just, like, take a couple steps forward, but I can never really fully enjoy it. But there's just something so relaxing about this that I can't help but love it. Like when it came to actually like trying to draw art, draw digital or traditional, like I could enjoy it, but it would never be, it felt like I wasn't learning anything. Like I wasn't learning how to do something. So I never felt like I was actually getting any better. And I'm sure there's things I could be doing, and I'm thinking about trying to go back to it again. Because I always see like these little like clothing things and stuff, like your character in this clothing here. And I really want to do it, but I never have the money to, you know, pay an artist to do it. Did I use... That's the wrong brown. That's why it looks darker. Oh, frick, whatever. Happy little orccidents. Sure, it's not making much of a difference anyway. Yep, there we go. We'll just set those guys off to the dry. We'll let these guys dry for a moment. It's going to take a little bit. If you don't have money for artists, you don't have money to learn to play 40K's tabletop. Except maybe Kill Team. Maybe. Let's see if I can do this without doing epic fail face reveal. But, see that box back over there? Yeah, that whole thing is filled with orc minis. I think I got the resources to do that. Let's get this back turned around. A lot of those minis are still in the box too. And I got them cheap. I'm of the strong opinion that if you want to play 40k, just play Dawn of War. It's still competitively played to this day. Now that I do have. Yep, that sound was me. That was me, sweetheart. I'm sorry about that. I need to do some quick adjusting here. Rewind that so it lines up better. I might have to do a quick stretch at some point. I've been sitting most of the day. Alright, I want to hear something different. Let's set up a different song. Let's do that one. And if you want to play 40k, just play Dawn of War. It's still competitively played to this day. Would you prefer Dawn of War 1 or Dawn of War 2? I've heard we do not talk about Dawn of War 3. It led me to believe that it's pretty bad. Alright, while these guys are drying still a little bit, they'll probably won't need that very long. They won't need very long to dry. Let's move on to the Squig here. So the Squig's got his base undercoat of red. I want to see if I can go over him with a slightly brighter red. See, I think I saw I had a bright red in there. Yeah, bright red right here. So we're going to mix in this bright red in with familiar pink to get something that's kind of like in between the both of them. Okay, I like both Dawn of Wars, and no, we don't talk about 3, but they do different things. Want to be like tabletop? 1 in RPG? 2. Alright. Well, Dawn of War is on the list of things I eventually want to play on stream, so I'll definitely give it a try then. I'm going to move all the stuff that I have used and I'm not using anymore over here. And try to keep them separated. We'll try a 3-1 ratio on drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll start with 6 drops of red, so that means 2 drops of pink. Alright, 2 drops of pink are in there. Mix it up. That's not very bright, is it? We're going to actually make it 4 drops pink, 3 drops red. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should help brighten it up a bit. There's even a co-op side mode built into Dawn of War 2 called The Last Stand. I like it a lot, and 90% of my Dawn of War 2 Retribution playtime has been in that mode. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that's the red I'm looking for right there. Or at least that's pretty close to it. It's kind of like, you know, fresh blood look to it. Just tip. And now we're just going to paint over this whole squig. He's a bomber squig. There we go. That's making him nice and pretty. It's got a lot of little bits that stick up though, so it's going to make it hard to get into the nooks and crannies. Luckily, he doesn't need to be a whole lot of crazy colors. If you're going for canonical look of squigs, then I think you might want to mix yellow into the upper highlights. Reds are very close to orange and bright light. A little bit of yellow. That might help out a lot. He just got dynamite all over him. He's a big old bomber squig. He'd go in, he'd bite, he'd boom. That's what they do. Alright, so we want to mix a little bit of yellow into his next coat. Alright. While he dries, we will go back to the other guys. Alright, so now these guys here, we're going to have to start painting some things. Let's start with anything that's going to be metal. So that their axes, knife blades, the grappling hook. Probably gonna want to mix in. Start with this broadsword silver here, so we get some metallic in here. That should be pretty close to gunmetal gray. I'm gonna tilt this just slightly. Going to need a fair amount of it. So we got a lot to paint. So we're going to start with his knife here. Yeah, that's perfect. Alright, let's see here. What else would be metal on him? Got parts of his gun. So we'll at least want most of his gun to be kind of metal. So let's kind of get up in here. Put his iron sight here. We'll paint this portion here silver. It's okay if a little bit of silver gets on the... Actually, let's go ahead and paint the missiles silver completely, and then we'll cover up more little details of them with some different colors. He's completely out of camera. That actually looks great. That looks fantastic. There probably won't need to be a second coat put on over these things. That silver comes out almost perfect, exactly like I want it to. I might put a second silver coat over it just to be sure. Get the cords here. Get the inside of his cords. Oh, we got to get the inside of the gun too. Set that off to drive. Taking Renegade Pre. Hand pink waving elbow cough. Chill W cat. Brown inks on metal can help add a corroded look to it. Otherwise might look a bit too well maintained for an orc. That's very true. Thank you for telling me that. I was going to have to look into seeing what sort of rust I can do. But I think for the base coat, starting with silver might be a great way to start. You know, the metal started pristine at some point. A little bit of that shines through, but, you know, if your weapon don't look used, how do you know you're an orc worth your salt? And like an orc's weapon's gotta look used, right? Now, if these were the Imperium of Man, I think pristine-looking weapons would probably be almost given unless, you know, I wanted to make them look like they're battle-hardened a little bit. Or like they've been in the middle of like a really rough fight already. You know, you gotta appease the machine spirit. Got a little bit on his hand there, but it's fine. Don't want to hold it by a knife. Does he have anything silver that would be on his... He's got a gun in the side holster here, so I'll paint that handle silver. What is that little thing he's got on his backpack here? Like, what is this? It's got an orc insignia on it. Whatever it is. I guess I should probably paint his stick bomb silver too. At least the head. Alright. Set that guy off to one side. We got this guy here. I'm grabbing too much paint. Paint the top of his axe here. The axe itself probably wouldn't be too silvery. But his gun here. Paint that silver. He's got a skull and crossbone. He's got a crossbone there. That's not a blood axe symbol, is it? I'm going to do a stand and stretch here soon. Starting to hunch. This guy, I don't know what weapon that is, but I painted the inside red for some reason. It's some sort of shotgun, because it's got a little electric symbol on it right there. Painting his weird shotgun. No, he doesn't have a flamethrower. This guy has a flamethrower. This is a different weapon, though. Just realize how far away I'm holding it from everyone else. Make sure I got all of it. There we go. You. I need to get little platformers. Maybe he believes it's a flamethrower. Nev, are you an actual pyromaniac? Or has Arda affected you that much? I think it might be Arda. These guys, little axe painted. Now I painted the tip of his axe red, but I might just cover that over. Worst comes to shove, it starts showing through, which makes his weapon look even more used. At best, it covers it over, and I just could put in another fresh coat of paint over it to make it look more corroded. Almost grabbed him by the gun there. It's got a knife here. This is a knife. He's also got these little cups on the back of his backpack there. I touched the axe. Get up into these. This guy's got a stick bomb. Too much paint. It's got on his backpack. Oh well. Alright, so this guy's got his gun that's pointed all the way down there. I feel like I'm missing a dude. No, there he is. This is the dude. He's way off on his base for some reason. And they've already been glued down to their bases, so I can't move him. There we go. Get up in there. Get his knife. Is that a mine on the top of his backpack there? If so, that might be something I want to paint silver. He's got a stick bomb over here too. I think I am going to paint the top of whatever this is here silver. Alright. We got Daka Getter. Get Daka. Gonna paint his hook gunmetal color. Obviously that's gotta be metal. And parts of his gun. Not all of it will be though. I think the disc thingy is like an orc anti-vehicle grenade. You see it locked onto a dreadnought. Oh, yeah. So it'd be like an anti-tank mine or something like that. So yeah, painting that silver is a good idea. Because it is at least metal. It looks like this guy's got like a scuba flipper on his backpack for some reason. Like, I don't know what most of this stuff is, but I wouldn't believe that the Orks gave him anything he actually used in a fight. Paint this here a bit silver. I don't know what most of this is. Paint his weird little cheese grater here silver as well. That's his knapsack. That's obviously like the worst one because it's soggy. And he's got a little antenna here. We'll paint that silver as well. He might actually be like a scuba diver unit. Now that I'm looking at him over. I think he actually is. Yeah, because look at his face here. See if I can try to get this zoomed in properly. But yeah, if you look at his face, it kind of looks like he's got like a snorkel mask. I thought he had like a radio transceiver, but he looks like he's wearing a rebreather. That is a rebreather. Rebreather gets painted silver. What are they making this grot do? Alright. Now we got the squig. Squig's got like another one of those tank mines. Here. Put that there. And he's got a metal antenna for remote detonation. And we'll paint that over just a little bit. Get up in some of these hard to reach cracks. And we're going to set the squig over here. So now we want to mix a little bit of brown into our gunmetal gray. Let's see here. I kind of like the idea because that is a rebreather, and I was kind of already thinking of it before. Like this Ork Commando kind of like being like in a swamp somewhere. Like, you know, like in a jungle swamp, like Catchin or something crazy. And down it goes. No, we saved it. We saved it. We saved it. We saved it. Maybe. Mike Wazowski looking dudes who are arguably better at killing orcs than you. Oh, absolutely. We're going to make some Desolate Brown into our gunmetal here. And we'll see how that does for making things look a little rusty. Just a couple of drops. And I won't clean the brush off because it's still the same color. And we might mix a red in there too. Because, you know, it's got some blood. We can take a little bit of the red here and mix them pretty well together. Yeah, what do you think of that? Oh, that's beautiful right there. That's the color I'm looking for right there. We might mix an orange in there. Kind of get it a little bit better. See what I got in terms of orange. Oh, perfect. Nuclear Sunrise. If that won't make it, give it a nice bright brownish red color that Rush should have, I don't know what will. Which I'm pretty sure Drake the Duelist will tell me, no, don't do that, add another color. And I'll already be adding it, but it'll be too late. We'll just add in a couple drops. Oh, that came right out. That might be a bit too much. We're about to find out. Mix that in together. Put it together, and what do you got? Nice rusty. Yeah, that's a bit more what I'm wanting. Yeah, that looks like rust. I think that looks a bit more like rust, don't you think, chat? Oh, well, you can't see it. Yeah, that's the color it kind of makes right there. That looks like rust. We'll mix in all this red then. Just mix this all together. No use to trying to salvage it. It's nasty, it's gross looking. It's Orks. Make sure that gets nice and mixed in. Yeah, Neff approves. It's got the blessed eye Neff approval. So we're gonna slap this onto the gun specifically. Might have been a bit too much from what she said, tackled from several directions. Yeah, that's gonna look great on these weapons. The missiles can look pristine because they only get shot once. So, I know 40K's been around for a long ass time, and just about everything that could be done in it has probably been done. But I kind of want to know, Drake the Duelist over here might know, have they done a story where Orks take over an Eldar craft world and just completely overrun it and turn it into like a Ork craft world? Yeah, look at that. That's a nice, rusty, well-used, and well-loved Daka right there. Because I think that'd just be funny. Screw them, Eldar. They're assholes. They murdered, banged a whole Elder God into existence. They deserve every little bit of misfortune. It might be a little too rusty. Like that gun right there. I'm going to name this guy Tetanus. Because actually, once that dries up, it'll clear out a little bit. So that'll probably be perfect. Probably won't cover entire guns with it from now on. We'll just give a couple of streaks to it in well-needed areas. Orcs can't use Eldar tech in general because most of it is made from Wraith bone, which even they can't figure it out. Yep. Yeah, okay, that's true. Because I know Orcs love their Space Hulks. And I thought like an Eldar Craft world, it's kind of like a big old Space Hulk. But it kind of makes sense on that regard. They probably just blow it up too out of spite. It is, after all, scrawny tech, and who needs that? It's worse than Umi tech. These Umis know how to make things that bump and brattle and ride about. Scrawny tech, it floats, and that ain't right. There was a story where Orcs got their hands on Necro Doomsday. Oh no! Oh no! Hopefully the Orcs killed themselves out of that, because we don't want them running around with Necron tech they figured out. I played Space Marine too. I know what happens when you go around messing with Necron tech.
Want to leave us a tip? Consider buying us a Ko-fi. All money goes into helping fund the comics and improving the streams with emotes and buying games to play. Thank you for your donation.
Thank you for the readout, Lori. He's got a gun here. He's got a pistol with a bayonet on that. Look at that. Look at that, Chad. He's got a pistol with a bayonet on it. Give all his metal bits nice rust. I think these orcs are turning out really damn good. I can't wait to look at it in 5 months and go, what the hell was I thinking? Yeah, these guys are definitely scubas, because even he's got like a rebreather mask. He's got some binoculars on his chest. We'll give those a good cover of wax too, a wax of rust. Well, I think that's just jamming a knife down the pistol barrel like a true orc. Yeah. Affects bayonets. Good on you, man. Go get him. I made a shooter who shoots stabbers. Essentially, he made a harpoon gun at that point. We'll get the inside of covering. Give his antenna here. He's got some bullets here. Let's give them a covering too. Weapon and coat. Ever seen a Flash Kit? Seen Flash Git's 40K Looney Tunes animation? I have not seen the Looney Tunes animation. Of course, there's a I know everybody's talking about the big controversy of their Bluey episode, where the Black Templar hunts down the family from the Bluey cartoon. Of course, the joke is it got struck, so that means it's canon. So everybody knows how Bluey ends now. I have not seen the Looney Tunes. That might be just filling up his cup. You got anything metal on your face? You got some metal right here, so we'll give that a quick coat. He's also got a faceplate. We'll probably cover that with a red. So you watch Flash Kids, Drake. Have you seen Space King? What do you think of that one? Because kudos to them for trying to make their own thing. I say, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I think it's still a little too close to 40K. But I think they can get something pretty cool out of it. Get his bomb up here. Alright, we got the scuba grot. I've seen funnier out of Flash Gift than Space King, but I think it really is just finding itself right now. And it'll come into its own later. Interested in what they do with it. Yeah, I guess that's also true. I think, like I said, I think it's a little too close to 40K right now. It doesn't have that thing that really sets it apart. Like, it's got the whole parody angle of where it's taking everything in 40K and like taking it to a silly extreme, to that absurd extreme that 40K has, where like I do like the you finally turned your radio back on. You're on the wrong planet. I thought that was hilarious. Alright. We're going to take these guys. I really don't want to paint any more of these guys. Because these are kind of like what Codex done. So I'm kind of like want to have them to compare. So I'm going to set these guys off to the side. I'm going to compare my paint job to Codex's. That is nowhere near Codex's best work, by the way. I've seen better stuff out of him. But I just want to compare. And maybe I'll go back over it again. I'll stick with my commando unit here. Get some rust to the squig. All right. Let's take a look at the first guy we painted out of this. I don't think he's going to need a second layer of rust. Try to get that camera to focus. There you go. I don't think that's going to need a second layer of rust. That looks dull enough. And we got a lot of brown on these guys as it is. So we're going to paint up the last little bit of everything he's got. We did not get that knife. There we go. Now we got that knife. And gun handle. He's got a stick bomb I missed too. So now we got to figure out how to get some more color in on like his little details. So we are going to start with the black details, I think. So these are going to be things for straps and oh right, these guys have boot tips too. We need to get that. So yeah, they got like little metal boot tips. We need to get those covered in. Get up in this boot. Gotta have nice, good metal boots for stomping. Get their boots the right color. Probably should have gone over that with silver first, that gunmetal silver. So that way it pops up a little bit more. But you know, muddy boots, you know? You're gonna have muddy boots. Put that down. It up here. Who's got these guys good and done? Almost doesn't look like this guy's got any metal tips on him. Bet he doesn't. In any case, the rust still will look good on his feet. Make his feet look dirty. My hand is completely in the way of the camera there. What color are you doing for the clothes? Looked at the official heavy metal paint scheme. It doesn't look all that inspired. Heavy metal really likes golf, which aren't very colorful. These guys, they're commandos, so I kind of wanted them to be a little bit camouflaged. So browns, a lot of browns on these guys. Might make their eyes more red. Get a brighter red on the eyes. Brighter red on the dynamites. So really trying to go for like muted stealth colors probably for these guys. The Grot, he doesn't get metal tips. He gotta walk around. He's lucky not to be walking around barefoot. So I think that should be that done. Now I think these guys do. Yep, there. So his shoes aren't painted. So I will cover them in the rust. This guy's next. If you roll for pizza, will it become a pizza roll? Probably. Are you trying to hint to me that you want a pizza, sweetheart? Alright, that should be good for the shoes. Let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, the more that dries out, the better his gun's looking. So let's move on to red details. I want to do some red. that out. We're going to move to a finer point tint. After I get the paint out of this brush. Got that pretty good. So we're going to move to a finer point tip. This one right here. That's a pretty fine point of a tip. You get little itty bitty details. Alright. Move you bad guys over here. So I want to get a really, really bright red. Kind of like try to get the red that's on these guys' hats here. So I'm going to take a bright red and I'm going to mix it with some yellow. Let's see here. I saw a yellow. That'd probably be perfect a moment ago. Where is it? There it is. So we got this color called Zealot Yellow. So I've mixed this with the bright red and the Zealot Yellow. This should get me the red I really want. Which I want a really, really bright red for their eyes. So like the eyes would come out really super bright. Because they're trying to be stealthy in the dark. On top of that, I'm probably going to paint the tips of the missiles yellow. What's speed paint? I think it's just the brand. This is the box that it came in. It says it's the most wanted set. I'm not exactly sure. It was just like the biggest set of paints they had at the shop. And it was the cheapest option by doing it. Get a whole bunch of paints rather than picking out bottle by bottle. Alright, we'll start with a couple of yellows. And then we'll add in some red. Want a majority red, so that might have been a little too much yellow. It's kind of ketchup in color. It's really, really orange. I need to darken that up a bit. I need to make that more red. If I mix in this slaughter red, I might do it. Mix that in. A couple of drops of that in there. That's kind of making it look a little purple. That's a bit closer to what I was wanting. That second mark right there. If I thin it out enough, that'd probably be perfect. So we're going to use that for the eyes and anything that needs to be red. So like this guy's eye right here. That's probably going to take a couple of coats. To really get it in there right. Let's see here, you got anything else that really should be red on you? He's got some dynamite on his back. This might be bullets. If you paint their eyes red, do they see faster? I think that's how that works. I know there's a book where they talk about the fact that humies die so easily. And a couple of grots theorize that because Humi blood is red, it runs faster, therefore they bleed out faster. And now that orcs are starting to think that that might be true. Paint his little blood axe symbol red too. You got a blood axe symbol on you anywhere? No. He's got a red visor. I want to cover his axe in a little bit of red streakage. Except orcs bleed red too, last I checked. Maybe there's a really dark and thick red. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought orcs bled orange. I don't know what put that thought into my head. Probably not a 40k thing where orcs are in. But I can absolutely see orcs bleeding green in 40k. Put a little bit of red on his axe. And that axe is just drenched in it. Orcs bleed green. Orcs wear brown pants. That check out. That checks out. I didn't even think about that. I put the orcs in brown pants. Well, like I said, these orcs are on Catachin. That's the thought process. These orcs are on Catachin. It makes sense for them. I like the orange blood idea, though, husband. I do like that. Okay, cool. Somebody likes it. That guy was in a vicious fight. That's what's going to happen there. He has dynamite on his back. Let's try to get rid of some of this access. Paint. Many years ago, I saw a guy who painted his orcs blue, like blue skin. Ugh. Was it a choice deliberately to do that? Like, did he know, or is he just doing it for the fun? I don't know if you've seen this one yet, Drake, but this is one that my wife painted. Here, so get ready for this thing. It's not wanting to focus in. There it goes. Look at that monster right there. That's a knob too. She did that to a knob. I think it's a joke based on Ultramarines. Look at that. Look at this bubblegum dude. I still say he looks like a wad of bubblegum. Alright, let's get some red on this grok. Alright, now we're going to give this squig. That's like a Lord of the Rings skin color, I know. Gonna cover in this squig with some more red. What am I doing? Why am I using the finest tip I got? Let's switch over here to a thick tip. Cover him pretty good. Just make sure not to paint over his mind anymore. If I hold it upside down, it should be fine. Hold it upside down so that way none of the paint drips backwards onto the mine. Gotta get into all his little nooks and crannies. That looks a little bit better for him. Color, I'm sure he'll look a little bit better when he dries out too. Alright, I'm going to do a quick stretch. I'll knock over the camera first. And I hope that didn't show me. Nobody needs to be exposed to that ugly ass vision. Nope, I didn't show up on camera. That's okay. Alright. Jeez. For some reason the camera suddenly became top heavy. Alright. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna take a quick stand and just stretch for a moment. I can feel my old man bones setting in. I am back, chat. I'm back. Stood up, took a stretch, took a quick little walk around the house real quick. Everything should be a-okay now. Let these guys dry for a moment. Headphones back on. Let's get music different. Let's do this track. This should be nice. Probably won't be doing any more big strokes or anything. So we'll wash this brush off and let it dry. I need to find a better way to dry off brushes rather than just this, because this is kind of just what I do. I don't think it's doing a very good job of getting everything clean. Ooh, those are starting to dry into place. That's not great. Probably won't do any more fine details like that either. We'll probably do it like another 30 minutes before I call it a wrap for tonight. So we'll probably get into just a little bit more details in. Actually, we probably are going to need this little brush for more details. The eyes are pretty setting in pretty okay. It looks like sticks of dynamite are probably going to need another go of red. But I'm going to save dynamite for more streams. I want to do, I want to wrap things up by just painting some things, some good old fashioned black. So we got grim black here. You got a grim black here. Here we can focus in camera. And we're just going to paint some of the straps they have on their backs and stuff black. Especially when doing detail work, you shouldn't really be getting paint any further up the brush than about halfway. When the paint hits the metal and you've gone too far, yeah. Yeah, because that's just wasted paint at that point. It ain't going to get picked up onto the model. So we're just going to put a few drops of straight up black. And that should be enough right there. So little things like his straps here, these little boxes, these straps here, straps on the bedroll, this belt on his legs. It's going to be intricate, but it'll be worth it in the end. Require a lot of focus. Oh, wow. Wow. Looks like I won't have to do any more like go arounds with black though, so that's always going to be nice to do. Kind of going over a little much. Got these little straps around his gun here. He's got a pack up here.
Did you know that Dr. Crow has a Discord? Consider joining the server and help grow the community.
Thank you for the readout, Lori. Paint some black around. His knife's handle there. He's got the black shoelaces. He's got some pouches up here, so I'm probably going to paint those black as well. Going too far on that brush. We'll cover these tubings here with black. Alright, set him over to dry. Now we got this guy. This whole netting here, we're going to just put black on top of that. And we'll just pull from that netting to try to cover up his straps here. He's got a buckle right here that hangs loose. He's got a bandolier of weapons right there. Cover the bottom of his chin black. But we'll leave the top part brown. Just see how that looks like when it dries. Alright, on to number 2. We want his whole thing. Got an armband here for this pouch. You're going to, he's got a band here. Still putting too much paint on the brush. But I'm getting better about it. It's got a lot of little details now. Pretty good there. Hand's kind of falling asleep. This is going to be an interesting one because this box here, big electrical box, that should be black all the way around. Because I think he's got a plasma weapon. So I probably should paint the inside of his plasma gun some sort of blue. Which I don't know what type of orc uses a plasma gun. Can't even feel that in your wrist. Let's look how that coils there, yeah. Get these straps on his boots here. That was way too much paint. All right. Put you down there. I want to paint that at some point. I start to feel it in my eyes. Painting the bottom of his knapsack here black. Maybe the inside of these black. that. Got the drawstring here. We'll paint that black too. Alright. Onto this guy. We're almost done for tonight. Let's try not to rush it. Cover this here black. Black strap there. There we go. I think that black will help differentiate parts of their bodies a little bit. Probably going to want to go over it again next time I do more details. But I think we're definitely done with like just painting the body part. And now we're on to like actual detail, little details. And I'll probably be finishing the next stream with like some sort of varnish or matte. Probably don't want these guys to shine too much. It's supposed to be a stealth unit after all. But you know what? The Umis will never see it coming. The stealth unit all bright and shiny. They won't be looking for that. They'll be looking for gits trying to like hide. Trying to duck behind stuff. Gloves. So if we come in there yelling and screaming, they'll be like, "Those aren't the stealth orcs," and they'll leave us alone. And we'll take them by surprise. Perfectly logical thinking. Do you clear coat spray your models? Good way to seal the paint job while not making them look like they got floor polish. This set came with a type of polish. And these are the first models I've ever painted. So I have no idea what I'm doing at all. Give him a nice big old black tooth, I think. Just because that'll kind of look a little cool. We'll color his teeth blackish. cover his face. He's standing on black. You're lucky you're lucky just using acrylics. For Gunpla, you're bouncing back and forth between acrylics, lacquers, enamels, lacquer acrylics, many of whom don't play nice with each other. Oh my god. I think I'm not going to touch that. That sounds like a nightmare. I'll stick to my acrylics. That's going to do it, I think. Clean my brushes. And let these dry the rest of the way overnight. Nope, stop falling, camera. I'm gonna have to find a more sturdy place to put my camera, I think, because it keeps wanting to fall over now. These guys are starting to look pretty good. Whew, that wears me out though. That is a lot of fun to deal with though. I kind of overdid it with some of my paints, I think. Want to save as much of my paints as possible. Overdid it with that red and that black. And next time we stream, we'll probably be going over even more details and probably wrap up in varnish. Let's see here. What type of finishers do I have? Let's see here. I got a anti-shine matte varnish. I got a gloss. Speed paint medium. What is that? That's a primer. That's a brush-on primer. I'll have to look more into what I actually got. But it looks like I got a gloss and a varnish and a medium, whatever that is. Unless a medium is like a, I don't know, something you put between primer and paint. Yeah, so we'll let these guys dry overnight. I'll take my pictures of them, post them around, see what people think. Really starting to enjoy this. I really love it. Let's put my paints up. Alright, so some announcements. Over on Global Comics, if you look for it, you can find a pretty standard dull coat ceiling. Gloss varnishes is just about solely for anything glassy or shiny. Medium is usually for thinning the paint into an ink. Probably don't want that to touch it then. Alright, I'm sorry about that, chat. I got distracted with something real quick. I had to mute. But yeah, I think these guys are done for now. So next week we will go through, probably add a little bit more details. Make these kind of like color like the tips of weapons. Maybe a couple of other small things on their packs. Go over like the details over and over again with the coats. They're getting pretty good. I'm actually happy with how these guys are turning out. So I'm going to send you all off on a raid. We'll send the chat off on a raid. Let's see here. Eeny, meeny, miny. Why not? We'll send you all off to Snoozy. I think that would be a pretty good one. Alright, I'm getting tired. I'm ready for bed. It's been a blast. Go to Global Comics. Find all of the comics. All American Red Scrolls, Smoke and Mirrors, Green Eyed Cat. More coming in the future sooner rather than later. It's going to be good. Got a lot of stuff planned. Make sure you do like, follow, subscribe, all that. We'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.